Hi everyone, welcome to CEO Meets. I'm Pip Wilkins, the Chief Executive of the BFA, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Angela Sterling from Lingotot. Angela, first question as always, what do you do? Tell us about Lingotot, when you established it and why you're franchised.
Okay, so dead quick, we teach languages to kids in a nutshell. So we teach languages to children aged 0 to end of primary school. We do 8 languages now, which is amazing, in nurseries, schools, community settings, and it's just oodles of fun. I absolutely love it.
8 languages?
8 languages. We're just about to do a 9th, actually. That's hot off the press.
Ooh. So what makes you guys unique?
Well, the 9 languages now, of course, but it's really there's a few different things. It's the Lingotot methodology. People think that learning languages is really fussy and boring, but really we just do it in empty spaces. Our perfect classroom is a field or an empty room. So you bring your kids along to all different kinds of classes like messy play, singing, storytelling, craft lessons, you know, all of that fun stuff. We do all of that, but in a different language. So the methodology is just really fun and out there and unique. It's brilliant. But apart from that as well, we're just really serious, even though we don't come across like that. We really put a lot in our brand and our quality. So we actually we're a qualification centre, and we give teaching qualifications to our franchisees and tutors. We have a business franchise qualification, and all of the children get languages qualifications with us at the end of primary school as well.
Oh, wow. So you stop at primary school. Why is that? Because they're learning languages in secondary school?
Exactly. When they go off to secondary school, the demand, although we can still work with children, but they have specialist teachers in secondary schools, so they don't need us anymore. But in primary, they really, really do need us. But lots of people don't know this, but languages are compulsory on the school curriculum now, in primary. But a lot of teachers don't speak a language. So the languages ceased to be compulsory in England in 2004. So that's 17 years of new teachers have come through, and they don't have a GCSE language, but they have to teach it.
Well, I have to say, I'm awful. You know, my getting by when I go to World Franchise Council meetings is to point and hope that they know what I'm talking about if I speak in pidgin English. So I definitely want to come along to one of the classes. I reckon I definitely suck it up as a child.
You definitely would. We do have a beginners conversation class, Pip, where we teach you how to swear. So feel free.
Oh, I'm in. Absolutely. So the last
still in the pub.
That's much better. The last 18 months has obviously been really tough. We were talking just before we kicked off the recording, and you were saying, you know, that you have all the way through of had to sort of really push forward and support the franchisees. So talk to us a bit about what the last 18 months has looked like for you.
Busy, very, very busy. I'd spent our brand. We really care about work-life balance, right? That's what we're all about. But I had to chuck my own work-life balance completely out of the window to support the franchisees, and I gladly did so, because everyone just needed support. It was one of those all hands on deck, all bets are off, let's get cracking. So the first thing we did was we had a big meeting to have a chat about what things might look like, and then we phoned everyone individually. That was really important to make sure everyone was okay. But it was just busy. When Boris announced lockdown, we were online with our kids at 9:30 the next morning, led by me. We've got more polished since then with green screens and all sorts, but at the time it was me, a banner stand, singing songs at loads of kids on Zoom. So that was good. But we had to rewrite lesson plans. We had to train franchisees on how to use IT, go through safeguarding measures with them because that had completely changed. The teachers who were still going into settings, they had to have infection control training, millions of risk assessments till they were coming out of our ears. Really look after our customers. We work with a lot of schools that were still open, and some of them wanted our staff in and some didn't, and some wanted lesson recordings. So I basically became a video producer for a long time. We were well used to online meetings because of the nature of what we do with our franchisees. We've actually been doing online meetings since 2011. Is
that because you're really, really far up north?
Yeah. No one knows. We're right. Yeah, that's it. In the middle of the countryside, beside loads of sheep up north. But we added extra ones that really looked after the welfare of the franchisees. Chit chat, bit of quiz, things like that every week to keep in touch. But as well, for reopening back up, we introduced forest school learning so that we could go outdoors and do that in a COVID secure environment. We encouraged the franchisees to do more holiday camps. We'd always done that, but they were a bit reticent. And we really pushed that and now everyone's fallen in love with it, and it's a huge income generator. We did a Lingotot sales academy just so people could get back out there and win new work that some of them hadn't done for a long time. And then part of that was, look at this. This is me love. I don't know if you can see because of the daft greenness. There we go.
Yeah,
I made a lovely planner. And it was basically a lovely planner that we had designed and posted out to everyone so they could get themselves back together after COVID, really. But then it never really went away, did it?
No, it hasn't. It certainly has been a tough year, but you sound like you've been awesomely busy, but you've really weathered the storm. And it's something that I'm guessing for you, there's elements of this that will be hybrid going forward. It's not going to be one or the other.
Absolutely. And we're sticking to some online learning. Like I say, it's kind of made us do new curricula like forest schools. We're writing beach school at the moment as well to get it's basically
I'm near a beach, we can do it on my beach.
Brilliant. And all that kind of stuff. The main thing moving forward though is just like it was during lockdown, just looking after the franchisees. So this year we're going to kick off actually on Monday next week, where we've done a new program, which is a business mindset development program, because a lot of people, their situations changed. Some franchisees and teachers, it's their mental health's been affected over lockdown. Their lives have changed. Maybe their partner has lost a job or something like that. So the business needs to pivot and do something new. So we're doing a lot of modules on things like goal setting, growth mindset, things where maybe people have been locked in the house for 18 months and they've got a bit of imposter syndrome. So we're doing lots on that. And that's a year-long development program we've got with all of the franchisees. But mainly as well, you wouldn't believe this, Pip. Before lockdown, we were ready to launch in about 4 or 5 new countries. I'm not joking. And anyone in franchising knows the investment that needs as well. And then boom, it's just all stopped. So hopefully we can kick that back off at some point in the future. God knows where.
Well, international growth is never an easy one. We do an FBI section, a Franchise Business Insights. We do an international section now every month, and looking at how franchisors take that kind of strategy forward is always massive and very expensive. But we will talk about that one another time.
Definitely. But while we're talking about that, I just have to give big hats off to Sophia, who is our master franchisee in Ireland, because they're even more locked down than us, and she's still leading her franchisees and taking on new people even as we speak. So she's done really well.
Well done, Sophia. Big hats off from me too. I have a couple of final questions. And so what does the kind of the rest of this year and going into next year hold for you?
So as I said, it's all about supporting the franchisees really. Weirdly, COVID, we were already a close network. Okay, we really pride ourselves on that. But COVID did something really quite magical, and it glued us all together even more firmly than ever.
Yeah.
We all had each other's backs. The franchisees have been amazing. Like we created some new champions roles, because some people naturally just took on positions within the business that we didn't ask them to do, but we created new peer roles. So we had a schools champion, a marketing champion, a community champion. We've got an extracurricular champion now, so we're going to develop that a little bit more, and just keep that network nice and close moving forward, because they've been sensational. I love them all to pieces, and they know I do, and this is when I usually cry.
Oh, it's so nice to see, and it's the one thing for me that stood out as someone that sees franchising across many different levels, that the closeness of franchisor and franchisee, that relationship, and even the relationship between the franchisees and their customers, that's stronger than it's ever been. And we talk about the power of collective ambition in franchising and the fact that we're this franchise family, and nothing's highlighted that as much for me as it has in the last 18 months. One final question,
Absolutely.
I ask it to everybody. What would be your top tip, one top tip to someone that's maybe looking to come in and invest in a franchise now? What would be your kind of words of advice for them?
Just hold on for the ride. It's always a roller coaster when you join as a franchisee. And I don't know about you, Pip, but I find when people leave training, they're up here on the roller coaster. And I tell them that they will, just not sure when, they will go down. And that's when they need us more than ever. But especially with COVID at the minute, there's a lot more opportunity. So for us, parents are dying to send the kids to classes. Schools have got extra money. Schools are crying out for support because they are on their knees. So my top tip would be go for it, but hold on to that ride even tighter than usual, because it is a roller coaster.
The words you used, my a previous franchisor who was one of our board members, he called it the glee graph. And you would be like sort of flying up when you bought your phone, then you drop back down, and then you kind of come back up again. So absolutely.
You do.
Angela, thank you so much for your time today. It's been awesome talking to you. And I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Pip. Yeah, thank you very much. Take care.